Does it feel like sometimes when behavior is developing their game, they only accept opinions which align with their decisions, their values, their ideas? For instance, with like Skull Merchant, when she was first released, they came out with a PTB with her, and many people were angry. They didn't like her. They're like, she needs a little bit of work before you release it. And so what behavior did is they released her anyway. And this created this whole shebang where it got to the point where people started making fun of them a lot. Everyone was saying, yo, behavior should have listened to us. They should have delayed her release. They should have reworked her a little bit more before pursuing this project. It felt like behavior was kind of blindsided. It felt like they liked something. They worked on a project. They wanted it to do good. And even though the community was saying otherwise, they were like, you know what? We'll do it anyway. We're the game developers. It's our decisions. We're right. We're going to go through with it. That proved to be very catastrophic. And there's been more decisions like this. For instance, with skill-based matchmaking. Behavior decided it was a great idea to implement skill-based matchmaking into Dead by Daylight. It was about 1 to 2 to 3 months in, and everyone's like, skill-based matchmaking's too hard. The gens are going by in 3 minutes. The gens are going by in 4 minutes. It's impossible. And everyone was so stressed out, and the player count was quickly decreasing, like behavior. They were so adamant. They were adamant on making this system, something that they created, to work. Skill-based matchmaking. The matches are hard, but you know what? You guys asked for this. We created it, so you guys kind of just need to deal with it. And only after 8 months of the community complaining, behavior decided, okay, wait. Maybe this is a problem. Maybe this system that we have implemented and created and put in place is not that effective. Maybe it's not good. It's almost like it's like a force of ego that Behavior Interactive has, where they believe something is right, they believe something is correct. And no matter how much the community pushes back about how much they hate it, they dislike it, they don't want it in the game, it's not good for the game, behavior is extremely stubborn. They fail to see it from a perspective of what the players see, what the players are experiencing, the difficulty of a match, how stressful a game is to play when within the game. That's why a lot of the community feels like the developers don't hear us. They don't listen to us. They never listen to us. Why? Well, because behavior is very stubborn. Whether that be ego or this sunken cost fallacy of we put a lot of months of game development and design into this product, into this feature, that we just want it to work. We spent so much time creating this feature. We're going to leave it in. We're going to leave Skull Merchant in because we spent 6 months working on her. We're going to leave skill-based matchmaking in because we spent years polishing this project, years polishing this feature. Why, if we get rid of it, it'd be like a waste of effort, a waste of game development time and decision making. And this is where I wonder if game developer ego is one of the greatest enemies to their community, their player base, or in the aspect of game development design and decision making, for the community feeling like they're never heard, for the community getting frustrated that developers are just not listening to feedback, not listening to them, just kind of like ignoring them. I wonder if this ego, maybe this sort of pride that the game developers have, what I like to call hardness of heart, this sort of, we know better than what the community wants. We know better about what's best for this game. And I almost wonder what the root cause of this mentality is. That's why in the previous video, I mentioned the community being overly toxic, with people telling other players to hang themselves on a noose, to jump on a noose, to off themselves. I wonder if the toxicity, the visceralness, the savageness of this community has caused this sort of hardness of heart in its game developers. For you see, with the game developers' stubbornness, if the community abuses the game developers, it would make a very high ego, prideful game developer type mindset stand their ground even more, which also propagates even more community negativity, bashing, and abuse, because of the ignoring of feedback, the ignoring of certain criticisms, just due to how savage and visceral and toxic the community is. It's this sort of this community giving evil, or this hardening of heart of evil. It's like when this evil versus evil clash, it just propagates even more, to the point where toxicity just multiplies and never gets resolved. And I wonder if this brings us back to the point where if behavior sees a lot of people who give like that sort of harsh criticism in that same group of toxicity, savagery, and ruthlessness, to the point where people who give like these sort of harsh criticisms, even if it's like, oh, maybe you shouldn't go through with Skull Merchant, maybe Boon Circle of Healing probably needs a nerf, maybe skill-based matchmaking shouldn't be put into play. I wonder if this savagery transforms those who give sharp criticism as an enemy. Almost like behavior builds up a wall against those who give sharp criticism, to the point where their opinions, their criticisms, their feedback just bounce off the wall of ego, bounce off the wall of pride. And the only one whose criticisms are absorbed rather than rejected are those who align with their values, with their design decisions, with their beliefs, like almost like a yes man, like the type of values that are compatible with a predefined, already set list of design decisions, values, and structures. You see, sometimes the truth hurts, but just because something hurts doesn't necessarily mean it's an action done out of hate. In fact, it's quite the opposite. Truth spoken that convicts, that stings a little bit, but with the intent to correct, in order to fix, to teach, to learn a lesson, is in fact done out of love. And I wonder, when it comes to the developers receiving feedback from the community, as visceral as some community members are, I wonder if a problem with the developers is this necessity to learn when truth is spoken with love. I wonder if they have a problem with associating truth that hurts with hate, with an attack, with the person speaking that truth to be an enemy. Truth that is convicting, when in reality, the truth that is good is a truth spoken in love, even if it convicts, even if it hurts. Not every truth spoken that stings is an attack from an enemy in reality. And so this is the duality between Dead by Daylight's game developers and its community. A community full of people who can be overly abusive, toxic, harsh, and critical. And a set of game developers who may have some ego, may have some pride in their game development decisions, leaving skill-based matchmaking on for too long, maybe releasing Skull Merchant too early, maybe not reworking Boon Circle of Healing fast enough. A set of game design decisions which abides mainly in belief that are congruent and agreeable, rather than being more open towards harsh criticism to truths that are often convicting. The problems which span between community and game developer is a mutual recognition of both parties' faults and coming to the understanding of both each other's perspectives in order to design the game in such a way where one side's not hatefully bashing and one side is not ignoring and just not listening to sorts of criticisms that hurt a lot. This is just a problem I see when the community thinks that the developers don't listen to them. And I believe this is part of one of the roots of why that is. Something I wanted to point out to you guys. And yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it.